Oh, you have two parts to this question, so I'm going to try and answer them. I had to write them down, so let's get into it. First of all, I love container gardening, and I actually teach classes on container gardening and vertical gardening, so you can grow up and grow as many vegetables as you can. So this is a really good question. Second, I would never tell you that what you're doing is wrong, ever, because we all have to try. And by trying, we find what works in our area, because this totally could work in your area, totally could work in my area. I will give you a few interesting things to think about. Check the variety of potatoes that you are growing. Some potatoes you need to pile up and they continue to grow. I didn't realize there was a difference until I tried to grow potatoes and I was doing the hill method like everybody was saying, and then I realized I was growing the wrong variety of potatoes for that. So I would look at the variety of potatoes. You should be perfectly fine in a garbage can no matter what, but at least you'll know when to harvest and what kind of potatoes you have. And when you harvest those potatoes, don't use them all. Set some aside for next season. Cold, dark place. Look in my prior videos and it will show you exactly how I store my potatoes. And sometimes if your ground doesn't freeze, I just leave them in the ground. And then I pick them up. I harvest them in spring and replant them. You're looking, make sure you have holes in the bottom of the trash can. And I do know a lady that plants her potatoes. She waters them till they're established, and then she doesn't water them at all. And she gets great potatoes. Your carrots will probably grow stubby because carrots need to have a long taproot that goes down into the ground. And if they don't, they'll pretty much grow fatter. Not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Red onions and green onions. Yep. You plant them in threes. So when I plant my onions, I plant them in groups of 3, and then I put them in the ground. And then when they grow up, they grow out and they push each other out. That's the best way I have seen to plant threes. And it cuts your planting time down in thirds, right? And I always start my onion seeds inside and then I transplant them. Except for green onions, I always grow my green onions in a container. I never plant my green onions in a garden bed. Because I have very limited garden beds now since we built this house here. So yeah, you're doing great. I want to see pictures. I want to see pictures. So yep, either find me here, find me on YouTube, or find me on Facebook and send pictures. That would be neat. But good going for you. What else are you growing?